Some people need no introduction, but we're going to give her one anyway. Our colleague Katie Couric is, of course, the anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. And over the course of her illustrious career, she has interviewed countless fascinating people. And so that was part of the inspiration for her latest book. She asked more than 100 of them about the advice that changed their lives, and the result is her new book, The Best Advice I Ever Got, Lessons from Extraordinary Lives. Katie is here with us in the studio this morning to talk about the collection of stories and comments, and thanks for getting up early.
You're welcome. It's nice to be here with you.
It's good to have you here. The book is great.
Oh,
and I mean, the list of people are on the back here. There's what, 116 people.
That's right. And who I wrangled and hawked until they said, okay, I'll write you an essay.
They said, leave me alone, Katie. Here you go. And I mean, the names, they range from, Christiane Amanpour, who people know very well, former President Clinton, Sheryl Crow, Arianna Huffington, Hugh Jackman,
Malcolm Gladwell. It's really a big, diverse group of people. So I'm really excited about this collection.
So tell us why you decided to put all these bits of advice together.
Well, the genesis of this came from a graduation address. I do graduation addresses pretty frequently, and I take them very seriously because I think it's a big responsibility. You want to leave the kids, if they're not too hungover, to listen with some important piece of advice. So last year I did Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, and I was kind of tired of talking about myself, blah, blah, blah. So I decided, I'm going to reach out to some of the, that's a lovely look, isn't it, Erica?
You look great in gold.
I was going to reach out to some people I'd interviewed through the years and had gotten to know a little bit, like Queen Rania and Sheryl Crow. Eric Schmidt of Google went to my high school, Malcolm Gladwell, and I said, what would you tell young people going out in the world, especially during these tough economic times? And they wrote back really beautiful things, and I thought, wow, this would be wonderful to put in a book to sort of cast a wide net and to see if all these people who have lived extraordinary lives can share some of their secrets, some of what happened to them. And I thought it would be really helpful to people, not only graduating from college, but for all of us. And I thought, well, if I'm loving reading them, other people might as well. So I've written the introduction, and we got, as you said, 116 people in all. And they're really, I don't know, you've read some of the book.
I have,
they're really fun to read,
I almost
right?
feel like each one is better than the next, and some of them are very funny. Jimmy Kimmel's is very funny. He says always order the hamburger.
Yeah.
There's a great backstory to it, which I'm going to make you read the book for. But it's interesting. You mentioned you wrote the foreword, and to each chapter you sort of write almost the foreword to the chapter. But it's very personal in the foreword. I think more personal than people may have expected you to be in some ways.
Well, I wanted to share some of the things I've learned along the way because I've had a life that I never in a million years imagined, both in highs and in terrible lows. Losing my husband and sister, for example. And so I really wanted to share things that I've learned along the way. I thought it was only right. I'm asking these people to bare their souls that I kind of express myself as well. So in every chapter, it may be the bank of experience, the importance of hard work and tenacity. I talk about how I learned that lesson, or trying to give to something greater than yourself. A lot of people wrote about that, and the importance of courage and moxie and kind of letting them know you're there, like my mom always told all her kids to do. Let them know you're there.
Yeah.
So that's how the book is formatted, and I think it works pretty well.
It does. The first sort of life lesson or advice that's in here is from Mario Batali, and he says life is not a recipe, which is interesting coming from a chef.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's so great. He wrote the best essay, I thought. He talked about how he learned at a restaurant called Stuff Your Face, and while he was a student at Rutgers, the importance of cleaning the deep fat fryer, and that in a way I think became a metaphor for his life. He said if you cook in a dirty fryer, you cook garbage. And so I think he's talking about sort of purity and listening to your own personal truth and expressing it consistently. And that's how he came up with his particular brand, and the importance of it really being about truth and heart.
Yeah. And
he wrote something great, I think.
And that a recipe in his mind is someone else's interpretation. It's great.
Right.
But you can make your own. And that's
exactly.
You don't have to live by it. Some of the other ones that definitely stood out around here, Catherine Stockett, who wrote The Help.
Oh my gosh, I love her so much. First of all, I love her as a person. I interviewed her on my web show, and I love The Help as well. I'm full of love today.
You are full of love.
So anyway, she wrote about the fact that she was rejected 60 times by publishers, and she kept at it. Her husband said she never gives up. And even when she was about to give birth, she was rewriting the last chapter, and the nurse said, put the book down, you nut job, you're crowning. And she used to lie. She used to lie to her husband and say she was going for a girls' weekend, and she would go to the Comfort Inn to write.
I love
and
this.
So it was just so funny.
Because most people would say never lie, and she says lie.
Yeah, exactly. But can you imagine if she had given up? after 35 rejections, which most people would, we would never have this wonderful book.
It's a great message. Whoopi Goldberg's really stands out. It's one of the things my dad always said.
About the golden rule.
Have the golden rule, treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, definitely. She wrote a great essay too, and I'm so appreciative to her because, people are busy to take time out to do this. But that's sort of similar to what a producer told me when I got the job on the Today Show. He said, listen, kid, today you may be drinking the wine, tomorrow you could be picking the grapes. And that said to me, you know what, you have to be good to people all along the way, because the people who cheer you on when you succeed are the ones who are going to catch you when you fall.
It's true. You've got a lot of changes coming in your life, as we know. Your contract is up at CBS, but as you go down this road, figuring out what the next step is for you, wherever it may be, is there anything in this book that really stood out to you as advice to help you make that decision?
I think, sort of just listening to your inner self. I think a lot of people talked about that. And also, Michelle Kwan talked about learning to get up when you fall. I don't feel like I've fallen, but, the importance of being persistent and continuing on a path and being true to what really makes you happy, finding your passion. And, I love to talk, obviously.
Do you?
Yes. Stop. And, I think I love to be my authentic self, and I think it served me well through the years. So I'm looking for a place where I can really be me, and hopefully, that will bring me the fulfillment I'm looking for. But I love my job, and I've really found a lot of satisfaction doing the evening news, and I'm really proud of the team and all we've accomplished. Yeah. So I don't want to say that I'm not proud of this chapter in my life either, speaking of books.
Of course. No, speaking of books, no, it's great. And, one of the things people love about you is that you're a fantastic journalist, but you are such an approachable, real person. We should point out before we let you go, the proceeds of this go to Scholarship America, which is going to help kids go to school. I have to cut you off because I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, no, listen, I feel your pain. I know the feeling. I've been here.
But we'll put more information on the website.
Okay,
Katie, thanks.
Thank you.
The best advice I ever got is in bookstores nationwide today. Pick up a copy. You will help someone go to college.